Hi again, everybody. Christopher Hondros here with our second video of the week. And as promised, we'll continue to look at the other cycle that we encounter in the Sunday Orthodox service, the cycle of the 11 Eothinon Gospels. If you recall last Sunday, we had the first Eothinon Gospel, and the mode of the week was Plagal Fourth mode. So that means that this week we'll have the first mode as our mode of the week, and the second Eothinon Gospel. And so for those of us that are a bit obsessive, we'll have to deal with those numbers not lining up for a while. Good news is that because of our Paschal cycle, this happens every single year. So you'll be able to get used to it. Maybe. So remember our Eothinon Gospels. They are accounts of the resurrection, and they concern the appearing of Jesus to his disciples following the resurrection prior to his ascension. So our reading for the second Eothinon this week is Mark 16, 1 through 8. When the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Salome, brought spices so that they might go and anoint Jesus. And very early on the first day of the week, they went to the tomb when the sun had risen. And they were saying to one another, "Who will roll away the stone for us from the door of the tomb?" And looking up, they saw that the stone was rolled back, for it was very large. And entering the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, dressed in a white robe, and they were amazed. And he said to them, "Do not be amazed. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, who was crucified. He has risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him. But go tell his disciples and Peter that he is going before you to Galilee. There you will see him as he told you." And they went out and fled from the tomb, for trembling and astonishment had come upon them, and they said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. Now, let's look at the text of the second Eothinon Doxastikon, which, as we recall from last week, is a summary of the gospel text and a poetic annotation, and it was composed by the Byzantine Emperor Leo VI, or Leo the Wise. The women who were with Mary came bringing spices, and being at a loss how to attain their purpose, they saw the stone rolled away, and a divine youth calming the tumult of their souls. For saith he, "The Lord Jesus is risen, wherefore preach to his preachers and disciples to make haste to Galilee, and behold him risen from the dead as the Lord and the giver of life." With that being said, let's examine our music this week, once again from St. Anthony's Monastery. The second Eothinon Doxastikon is, in fact, in the second mode. And this is a staccato hymn, so usually it's between 1 and 4 notes per syllable. Staccato hymns in the second mode often use the soft chromatic scale, as we've mentioned before, and they are based off the note the, or approximately a G as the base note. It ranges from a low pa, which is a low D, to a high pa, which is a high D, that you can actually see up here at the beginning. And we can also see it in the word being later in this piece, right up here. The hymn also has cadences on the bass note, vu, which is below the bass note, and zo a few times. That's a higher B here, as we can see here. Remember that in the soft chromatic scale, we chant particularly a flat-ish ke, right? So an A, that's not really an A flat, but it's flatter than a natural A. Let's look at a few interesting features of this particular score. So Papa Ephraim, when he composed this based on his score on a composition in Greek found in the Anastasimation of Ioannis Protopsaltis, which was published in 1905. In fact, that particular Anastasimation is one of the most widely used. There are a few places where Father Ephraim follows a convention of Ioannis where there is a repetition in the text, the first being how to attain, here, where you see how to attain and how to attain again. And similarly, the first instance of behold, and behold, and behold. And in fact, the syllable of hold here has 13 notes instead of your typical staccatic 1 to 4 notes per syllable. So what gives? Well, Ioannis employed what we call a melismatic musical thesis found in an older staccatic style that was the common style for hymns like this one up until the mid-18th century, when the new style, the new staccatic style, replaced it. So what Ioannis Protopsaltis is doing, and Papa Ephraim replicating that in English, is he's doing a homage to his predecessors in that old staccatic style. In fact, there are other hymns in our common liturgical practice that are still considered repertoire that in that old staccatic style and come up seldom during the year. Let's also quickly point out that we have a small diatonic section here towards the end where we chant from the dead, where we have a descent from Ra, or that F, down to Pa, to D, in a plagal first mode, providing, once again, a little bit of text painting. The change of the mode sets the phrase apart from the rest of the hymn. With that being said, let's go ahead and give our intonation, our epihema, which is actually a very special one for the second Eothinon. And remember that this is the high point of the orthros. So we're going to chant it relatively slowly. Keep time, give notes their full duration so that we can proclaim the text. Nos glory to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit. The woman who were with Mary came bringing spices and being at a loss how to attain how to attain their purpose. They saw the stone rolled away and a divine youth coming the tumult of their souls. For saith he, the Lord Jesus is risen. Wherefore preach to his preachers and disciples to make haste to Galilee, and behold him risen from the dead, as the Lord and the giver of life. All right, terrific. Thank you again. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and feel free to send us your feedback. We'll see you next week.